Welcome back, City Way Church. This week, we're going to be going into our second part of our series of the 5 love languages. And this week, we're going to be going over what's called quality time. Quality time is going to be for relationships, friendships, and most important, with the Lord. You don't want to have just one individual attention to one thing. You want to be able to have the quality time of balancing out between your relationship with someone that you may love, or a friendship, or even just only focusing your attention on the Lord and not being present in the current moment in time of your life. You got to be able to balance out like a juggling act. Today's verse of Luke 10:39-42. Mary sat at Jesus' feet with Martha was busy. Jesus said, Mary has chosen what is better. Then Psalms 46:10, be better and know that I am God. Our first point we'll be going into is going to be presence is more powerful than the performance. Let's believe that doing for others is more important than being with them. Meaning that you don't want to just focus on something that's important just for them. You need to also focus as well for yourself. You got to be able to share that quality time together. That's what's very important, is sharing that quality time, that most precious time that you have. It could be anything. Like say you had a friend that lived out of state. They came by, they visited for like a whole week, but then they only spend time with just them for like a couple of days, or even for the whole week. Take for instance, but you did everything that they wanted to do, but you never got a chance to do anything you want to do with them. And then once they leave, that quality time is already spent, and you don't get to be able to do the things you wanted to do with them as well. It's about sharing that quality of time together, because then you have your aspect of it, they have their aspect of what's going on. You want it to come together, make a cohesive partnership on that. Martha was busy serving Jesus. Mary chose to sit at his feet. Jesus wasn't criticizing service, he was affirming presence. Saying that it's good to cater to one's needs, but to cater to one's needs, you also have to think that, hey, look, I also have needs as well too. I want to make sure that they're met. Go back to being on the friend. You want to make sure that once that friend comes by from out of state, that you're spending that very most precious quality time, because you might not be able to see that friend about 6 months to a year, or whatever the case might be on that. And you want to make sure that anything that you have to say or do during that time will put that mark on there that, hey, we had the best time. We got to do this again. You don't want to just say cater to that one thing, or it's all about them. It's good it's always about them as well too, but you also have to think about your quality time. You're taking your time away from whatever that you might be doing as that friend is in town. So if your friend is always constantly saying, well, we got to go here, we got to do this, we got to do that, but then you're putting everything on the back burner, even though that a lot of stuff can be taken care of once they leave, that's fine. But you want to make sure that that quality time is spent very wisely, because that is going to be the memories that's going to hold together. Maybe taking videos, pictures, posting on Instagram, whatever. And every time you look at that picture or video or something, remember, I didn't get the chance to do this with them, because that's all we did is spend time doing that. And I had something good and planned for us to do, and we didn't get a chance to do it. And that's always going to be in the memory of that picture or that video. Second point is, God is not in a hurry, neither is love. Culture values efficiency. God values intimacy. Quality time requires slowing down, listening, engaging, and have delightful moments. Love is patient because love is present. You got to be able to love each other like in a relationship. You could be married, you could be just dating, but it's very important that you take that time to slow down, get to know that person. Even if you have been together for many years, there's going to still be that one thing or couple things that you don't know about that person as things will start creeping out. You never know. Maybe, yeah, you might knew their favorite foods before, but then they could have different favorite foods now. So when you go to cook them dinner, you got to make sure that you change with the times. Just like any kind of design, if you're designing a home and a color scheme isn't in season, that can change over time, right? You painted that, that wall, but then that color scheme can change over time, and now you have to change and adapt to that. Same thing in a relationship. You got to adapt to new things, new cultures, new ways of thinking and how love is done. Listening in love language with love language. Quality time without active listening is just sharing the air. Jesus listened to a woman at the well, John 4 and Luke 19. He didn't just hear, he saw hearts. He saw what was deep into that person, that lady, right? He wanted to make sure that he listened to what was wrong so he can get to the root of that problem. Quality time is not just spending time having fun. Quality time is also listening. Listen to what the other person has to say, because sometimes it may not be something that you want to hear, but sometimes you have to be able to listen to it. It just takes patience. Like, for instance, I've been married for 12 years, and there's always something that could arise during that time. At the moment in time, if you caught the other messages, my wife went AWOL and she is nowhere to be seen, heard from, don't know where she's at. Check the other messages out to get that full aspect of that story. So I don't have to waste your time on this time to tell you that one. But the gist of it is that I haven't seen or heard from my wife in a little over 2.5 weeks now. Don't know where she's at. So the point is that if I would have probably even took the time, even though I did listen, but read between the lines, maybe I could have helped. So that's the thing, is that you got to read between the lines. The love language of being able to listen is the most powerful thing. We were given ears to listen. So we need to take that time to actually listen for what could be wrong, is wrong, or whatever that you can fix. It just takes that time and patience to do that. Time is currency. Spend it wisely, because it does matter. You often don't get enough time in the day. You can't get the time back. Where you spend it, it's very important however you spend the time. Just like if you had $100 in your pocket right now, you go spend it, it's gone. But even if you broke that 100 and you maybe spent 20 of $80 left, now you got to spend that wisely, because it's going to take it away from you. You're not going to have that no more. You got to be able to say, is it worth for me to buy this? Is it justifiable for me to spend that money? Because once it's gone, it's gone. That's the same with love. Once you lose that person, if it's a friend, it could be even a family member, it could be a marriage. Once that relationship is gone, more likely it's going to be gone forever. Now, not necessarily sometimes always forever, right? Sometimes people come back, people apologize. It could be anything. They're just the same thing, kind of like money. Go back to that. You go to work and you earn that money. You get that money back into your life. It's the same thing. That person can come back into your life, but it's how you spend that time and how do you listen to them so you be able to grow into the best relationship you ever will have. God desires quality time with you. The very essence of prayer, worship, and devotion with God is you got to spend time learning about the Lord. The Lord wants you to learn about Him, because you don't want to, basically when you're up at the gates and He's judging you, He doesn't want you into His home without knowing you. You wouldn't want a stranger to come up to your door and say, I want to come in. You want to make sure that, I know that person before I let them into my home. I want to know, are they safe? Are they dangerous? Who are they? Because I don't want this person in my home. If I came up to you at your home and you didn't know me and I just knocked on your door and said, I want to come on in, you want to let me in, right? So that's the same thing. The Lord wants to get to know you, and because even though He knows you, He wants to get to know you on a different kind of level. And you got to know Him at a different kind of level. You got to be able to bring that together before you can go into the Lord's home. And the Lord's home is heaven, right? And He prepared a special home for you. Just like if you had a home and you had a guest home in the backyard, like, some people that are rich, right? They might have that where you have a guest home in the backyard. So you let them into your home and then you let them into their temporary home. That's the same thing as if you're up in heaven, the Lord is letting you into their home and then letting you into the second home. And to do that, you got to know the Lord and the Lord has to know you. Because both sides can change, right? In a way. You will change, but also the Lord will change His mind on letting you into the home. So you got to be able to be upfront and honest. Am I ready to speak the word of the Lord? Can I be out there preaching the word? I do it every single week. And to be honest with you, I'm not the best at it. Back years ago, before I took public speaking classes, I was like this little hermit, didn't want to talk. I was shy. You will never see me on a platform. But I took some classes. I spoke in front of at least close to about 20,000 people before, give or take, and at a big arena. And it didn't really affect me. I guess the reason why it didn't really affect me is because when you're up on that stage as well, you got these blinding lights coming at you. You really can't see the audience. So when I was up there heading up to the platform, I was scared. I just decided, you know what? I'm just going to try this out and see what I do. If I fail, I fail. But I succeed, I succeed. And I succeeded because honestly, I couldn't really see out in the audience. So it was like more just like looking like in a foggy area when you're driving. You can only see so much in front, far away from you. It's the same thing right now when I'm up here giving you guys the word that I don't have it all the answers, but the answers are in the Bible. So before I prepare my messages, I always go into the Bible and say, okay, what can I do? If I was to teach about this, can I spin it off and like maybe tell a little story, or should I not do that? And that's what I do. I want to make sure that I put the personal aspect of that quality time, right? The quality time that I'm giving you guys and you're going to give it back to me is we're a partnership here. You're logging in, you're watching the services, and I want to make sure that you have the best messages possible. Sometimes they're not going to be as great. I understand that. Every message at any church, you're always going to have those off weeks, and that's just how it is. But I make sure to take the quality time to give you guys the best messages possible. So you, the viewer, can take the message that's going on right now and apply it throughout the week. So when the next week comes, now you're hungry for more. You want to make sure you have more of that message. All right, well, that's all I have for today. But don't forget that we're going to be doing our midweek service coming on August 6th at 6 p.m. All you do is just head right online, just as you are right now. Go to the Watch Now or the media page and just log in like that. No special other links, no nothing like that. You'll be able just to watch the message just as you are right now. I'm going to pray and let you guys go. Jesus, I know that sometimes we don't spend the most quality time reading the Word. And we all need to be able to be into that Bible more, because the quality time that we spend with you is what's going to build up a relationship. So once we are at the judgment, that we basically going to answer any questions that you might give us. We want to make sure, yes, you did that, Lord, for us, or yes, I know what you did on the cross. It's kind of like a test at school, right? you're going to give us some questions, we're going to get some answers. We don't know how it is because we're here right now. We haven't been judged yet, but that's just what I'm thinking about it. Is that you're going to probably ask questions, and we're going to probably want to ask questions too. But we got to get to know you before we can enter you to your home. It's just that simple. We don't want a stranger into our home, and I guarantee you're not going to want a stranger into your home. So let's take our time this week to read our Bible more. Get to know you on the most deepest time, the quality time that we have right now on earth, so we can have the most intimate relationship with you to enter into your home. Thank you, Lord, and hope everyone has a great, safe week. Amen. Catch you all soon.